Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, Dave, they scored 5 runs on Colin before you got the first out of the second inning. Just how hard was it to come back from that today?
Yeah, they jumped on us. We gave it to them. I mean, the first 3 runs of the game should not have been scored. Got a routine double play ball that was misread and hits off someone's chest. And then, a ground ball to third again, can't get it, ball out, and guy scores. I mean, we spotted them 3 there. And then in the second inning, my first base makes a great diving play, and the pitcher took too long to get over to first. So we got a runner on there, and then 2 pitches later, guy hits one out of the park. Could have been a lot different if we'd have just made some plays but to answer your question, getting behind 5 runs, yeah, I mean, it was very doable. The wind's blowing in from right. Souza hit a bomb that backspun and got stopped. That was a 2-run homer, but the wind was blowing to the left today, a little different at an angle. Their left-hander hit one in it, sliced out. I think it hit the top of the fence and jumped out. And then obviously the other one. But I mean, we had some opportunities, but we didn't get a hit. That we didn't get the big hit. Give credit to Missouri's pitchers, though. They only walked us twice. They hit us once. Threw a lot of strikes. Nothing really overpowering, but a lot of off-speed pitches around the zone. But they were ahead in the count a lot.
I know the ball can take some funny hops on that turf there. Did Zach make the right read when he tried to come home from third to end that inning? I think it was the fifth inning.
Yeah, you almost had to be here to see it. I mean, it was a wild pitch. So he starts moving. You can see it out of the hand that ball is going to be up there. So he's starting to move, and then it just hit off of him, and you could hear it. It sounded like it almost like it hit plastic,
Hmm.
and the ball shot back, and he was too far down the line to stop. It would have been nice to see what would have happened, but it's the breaks of the game. I mean, that should have been a run and a runner at second and third, and 2 outs, and then you go from there. But instead, they get him at the plate. But in person, on site, it was just a freaky play and a lucky bounce for them.
Yeah, and it felt like maybe they got a lot of those bounces today. Did it feel that way to you, Missouri?
A little bit, but that's the way the game works a little bit. We needed to do a little better job at the plate, and I thought our pitchers, really after the second inning or after the 2 runs were scored in the second inning, pitched great. And it gave us an opportunity to climb back in. And it wasn't about scoring 5 or 6 runs in one inning. It was about scoring one here and a couple there and put a little pressure on them. And Missouri's pitchers never gave us that opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Gonzalez. He came in the second and pitched really well for him. What did he do well?
Just spotted up his breaking ball and he threw his fastball away. And the left-handed hitters were, they said it was off the plate. Who's to say? But if it's off the plate, couple inches or a ball away, you got to go get it. Anything over that, it's tough to get to. But he was spotting it. He was giving it to him. So our guys they needed to fight it. They needed to try to get over there or not let it get to 2 strikes. And he was throwing a lot of his breaking balls and fastball counts because his fastball is not overpowering, about 90 miles an hour. We see that all the time, usually a lot harder. But he wasn't leaving it in the middle of the zone. And, the one breaking ball he left in the middle of the zone, Souza hit it, on a normal day, that ball goes 50 feet over the fence and right, but the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour in from right, kind of right to left, and it just stopped it.
Yeah, I was looking through when they got their big hits today. They got a lot of hits in hitter counts, like 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 type counts. How big did you feel like some of those misses were early in at bats?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have a guy on the mound like Fisher that's throwing, change ups and breaking balls and he's thrown 1 or 2 of those pitches and they're both balls and they're sitting on a fastball and they're probably gonna square it up if it's around the zone. That's what happened a couple of times.
Just maybe your overall thoughts on the weekend, where you feel like the team is with 3 weeks left.
I mean, obviously we're still getting over the disappointment of today's game. So I guess taking a step back or maybe trying to think about it, in a couple hours, how would I react? We played pretty solid defense except one inning today. And I mean, it was, you know, on paper, it says we didn't make an error all weekend. To my eyes, We didn't make a play or two in the first, and they jumped on us. But that wasn't the game. That happened. That's baseball. I don't know. We played good enough to win 2 out of 3, but it wasn't like there was any dominating games, in my opinion.
Is this going to be kind of a similar deal to last week where you have tomorrow off, practice Monday, game on Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, well, tomorrow's definitely an off day, and they need to rest up, and we got a long bus ride home, and so yeah, tomorrow will be off, and then Monday will be it'll be light workout, probably some strength and conditioning, some workout there, just kind of getting the soreness out and try to build up a little bit, and then Monday's workout won't be anything taxing. It'll be
Hmm.
just trying to refine some things and get better at a couple of things, and then get ready for the Tuesday, Wednesday games.
I know we're still a few days out from that, but Northwestern State, I was looking, it looks like they're maybe in second place in the Southland right now. Have you had a chance maybe to keep up with them this year or know a whole lot about their team?
Yeah, they were in second. I know they won last night like 10-9, and I thought that moved them into first place. Now I don't know what they've done today. They're right there. And if they're in second, it's probably by a game or so they're fighting to win a championship.
And then, the double midweek aspect of this, you'll probably have a lot of pitchers who step up on Tuesday, Wednesday. Just your thoughts about maybe the opportunities that
Yeah.
gives the guys.
Yeah, that's what I just told them after the game. Some pitchers that haven't pitched a while are going to get an opportunity to pitch, and we need a few of you guys to really do a good job and go out there and show us that we can use you down the stretch here. And I'm sure they'll be ready to go. Guys that haven't played or pitched in a while, they get in, they're usually pretty excited.
And then, you guys have spent a lot of time on the road in the last month, really the month of April. You've been gone for most of it. You're going to be at home, I think, for the next 2 weeks. Really, till you go to Kentucky. Is that a good feeling that you're going to get to spend a little bit of time at home?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a good time for us to, play a couple games, the last two midweek games of the year, which is hard to even believe that it's gone that fast. And then a really, really good Ole Miss team that's coming in this weekend, veteran squad, and then not a midweek game, and then we play OU, and then again we're in finals and that, and then another week where we don't play a midweek game, but we play again on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday situation to finish up regular season at Kentucky. So, this is important 11 games we have left.
One more on Missouri. You said before you went up there, you thought they were pretty improved over last season. After you saw them for 3 games, does that reinforce your thought?
Yeah, much improved. The pitchers throw a lot more strikes than in the past, it seems like. They really didn't give us too much, in the field. At least that really stood out. And, a couple of really good athletes and some age and some strength there. And uh, definitely competed. They've competed against everybody this year. Now they might not have, won too many games in league play, but they've competed in, they've lost a lot of tight games. We beat them 5-4, and then we beat them 6-0. They beat us today 6-1. And but I've watched a lot of their scores where they've been in and they just haven't been able to finish them.
All right. Thank you.
Coach, appreciate that. Okay, see you guys.